Greetings everyone, welcome to this special Kadic Reviews. Now keep in mind that I have had the game in question for now 4 days. And as of the time of this review, you will see footage that I recorded yesterday as proof of that. Now I won my copy from EA Sports and FedEx through a contest through one of the modes called the Mutt Rewards. This is not a review copy. I was not paid. With that said, this is the review for Madden NFL 17. So the question is the game better than last year, or is it not? Over these next few minutes, I'll explain the good, the needs work, and the totally bad about this new game, and tell you whether you should play it or not. So, let's get started by talking about the new features in Madden 17. First thing you'll notice is a brand new kicking system. Let me show you. First, you'll see there's a brand new kicking arc, yet the top of the arc followed by the middle part, or the accuracy cone, as it were. Hitting it in the middle will give you a perfect kick. However, hitting it outside the line will lower its power or extremely damage the accuracy. As well, holding your different directional pad will influence the direction, height of the kick. Now, in previous years, you would have to set it and forget it, but this is not true. If you let the left analog stick return to neutral, it will return to the neutral state. Now, there were 3 different kinds of punts and kicks. One for the more end time level kicks. The other is kind of a lower pooch level kick, while you have your third normal kick. Getting used to the accuracy will be very difficult. So, this will be a new thing that I would suggest you get used to and quickly. Making kicks is harder than ever before. But the biggest improvements have been taking place all over. Like for this instance, Ultimate Team has added back chemistry. Chemistry is based on what kind of cards you're using or what kind of playbooks you use. Higher chemistry will give you different amounts of stat boost to help your Ultimate Team be more successful, as you can see on the far right. On top of that, solo challenges have been altered to have even more options than ever before to get coins and good cards without the use of actual cash. Draft Champions returns unchanged, and the salary cap mode added late in the Madden 16 also makes a return, as well as ranked games. Now, the biggest on-box improvements are to the franchise mode. This is one of them, the new practice and training modes, setting 3 key players and setting pre-game schemes. You can improve your players faster and much more efficiently. This here is the menu you see after the drills that you take. Now, the drills that you do are the ones common to the skill trainer, which also makes a return. But doing good in them can allow you to sim them later for automatic points. An almost set it and forget it reward. However, fan requested additions have been added to the franchise mode, mainly what you see here. Formation subs. something that most notably my friend Wesley has pointed out is needed to be added to this game for a multitude of years. With this, you can put players out of formation to create new offensive and defensive looks. However, I don't see the ease of use yet in this setup. It looks like I'm going to need a little bit more practice and understanding because it is not made exactly clear to the casual player how this works and how it can change the course of your game. However, that's only one of the big franchise additions. The other is the additions of a brand new, more fair trading system, although I did use it just a second ago, but in this trade to show you how fair and new it actually is. But it's among one of the many new changes made, most notably the addition of a practice squad. With this practice squad, you can put your lower rated players into the practice team to help build your team to success. This is a brand new feature and will certainly help in multi-year drafts with friends. But also, there are the notion of big decisions and setting season goals, as seen here and explained through the game system. Setting higher season goals can actually get your coach fired, and you'll have multiple big decisions like contract signings, injuries that will linger, and so on and so forth, as well as who to play with if you have a position battle. Now, here is how the training drills actually work, as I explained a little bit earlier in terms of the menu. Now, the stats don't really help you on the far left corner that much, seeing that it goes by percent. So even if you go by the game's advice, you're really still rolling the dice here in how those training situations work. And this will also allow you to build up players lower on your depth chart if you feel that there's a weaker player that needs more priority. And setting three gives you a lot of offensive and defensive choices. So knowing your roster will especially help you out if you're going with a default team league or if you have one of those weaker fantasy draft picks that needs to be improved. Now again, the drills are similar to those in the skills trainer mode, which you can still earn ultimate team cards for. But essentially, these do not reset from medal to medal unless you get a higher one. Keep that in mind before instantly hitting the send button. There are significant points lost, and it's based on your player upgrade speed how much points you will actually get. So keep that in mind. All of these come together with a much more improved and much more streamlined visual presentation, using actual new and soon to be upgrading throughout the season commentary. Unfortunately, for copyright reasons, I won't be using any of it here. You'll have a closer and more TV-like feel to the proceedings. New commentators take over the roles, and the transitions actually work cleaner and faster, as well as you can see a score ticker just like on TV on the bottom. And as you can see, all your all your pre-game training actually makes your players more effective in certain plays that you game planned for. Higher medals will lead to better game plan results, although it does not lead to automatic wins though. You still have to have a good team around it. On top of that, zone defense has gotten a massive overhaul in Madden 17. There are new zones like flats and so on that will add more defensive functionality. Plus, the defensive AI has been tweaked and made better, so aggressive catching, something exploitable last year, is less exploitable this year than in previous years past. Plus, new running animations and new special jukes for both speed and power have been added to make the running game more versatile than ever, as well as the notion of drive goals in franchise being tweaked. They're no longer on each individual drive like in years past, so they're not so much of a hindrance. And keeping track over your league is much easier than ever thanks to its brand new interface. The game is substantially better than last year. However, it is not exactly perfect. There are still some things that need to be tweaked, like outside runs and tosses being far too effective at this point. Hopefully, EA will tweak those things, as well as some of the fumble tweaks that need to be made. Also, they've added in the ability to play the moments. Think Red Zone channel with Super Sim. Also, you can play just the offensive or defensive plays, much like the coordinator mode in NCAA. It's a nice little add-on on top of that. However, not all is well in Madden 16. As I have mentioned before, there are still some things to figure out and tweak, which hopefully they will do over the course of the season. Largely, some of the things like scouting has not been altered whatsoever, as well as the superstar and some of the later player upgrading has been significantly changed. However, sadly, I don't have footage of some of those changes. However, teams do draft for need, so hopefully drafts are more interesting in concurring seasons. But the biggest negative that I have towards the game, and one that I shouldn't have to point out, is the licensed soundtrack. The licensed soundtrack is one of the worst in Madden history, loaded with a lot of country tracks. I have reason to believe that it's Ron Gronkowski who coordinated the track list. There are some noticeables that are in there, mostly if you've been watching WWE recently, like Flow Rider's Who's With Me, one of the SummerSlam themes, and one of the recent themes for the last TakeOver special as well. As well as some noted bands like Denver's own 303 is also in the soundtrack. But it's because of those country tracks that the soundtrack is less listenable than in previous years. As well, to that the notion of the whole pay-to-win syndrome in Ultimate Team. It's still there, it's still present, and it's still somewhat of an influence. But thanks to a lot of solo challenges, my hope is that it's a lot more even than it's ever been before in terms of the Ultimate Team modes, success, and replayability. All in all, Madden 17 is a vastly improved game but with some need for some tweaks over times of patching. Some man plays don't work, and there are still some magnetisms to the ball and lack of the new ball physics that were slightly advertised, as well as some players have trouble recognizing players properly, and yes, there is still some Madden rubber band AI cheese. But on rookie and pro levels, there are run gap assists as well as highlighting what the box is in the defensive line and some low level handicaps that lower level players get into the game. But on higher level difficulties for veterans, those are turned off, as well as some added features like auto flipping to the defensive strong side. Hopefully, those are turned off during online play, and due to slight bits of lag during online play, kicking might be slightly a bit more difficult. All in all, Madden 17 is a vastly improved video game over its predecessor. However, it still needs a lot of work. But this game is supremely playable, and I would recommend it to NFL football fans or people getting back in Madden. Finally, the improvements they've guaranteed on the box have been, for the most part, delivered. It's not perfect as any game with EA might suffice, but it's as perfect as it can physically be. That's why I can wholeheartedly give Madden NFL 17 an 8 out of 10 via the Kadic Reviews scale. If you're looking finally to get back into football, this might be the game for you. Just don't expect absolute perfection. There are still some things to work out and still some video gaming mechanics. After all, it is video games. But for the most part, the game has, well, to score a pun, scored a touchdown. Until next time with Kadic Reviews, tell me how you feel about the game in question and whether you'll be picking it up. And also, tell me if the actual use of footage for the game has improved. I would like to see. This is kind of an experiment that I'm massively running here. It could dictate the future of video game reviews for Kadic, depending on how you react. Let me know in the comment section below. And until next time, find peace in your own nirvana. And thanks for watching Kadic Reviews.